And you had talked about this matchup the other day and how you guys will be motivated because you were not happy with the preseason game. What happened that day?
I don't know. Good question. You tell me. Look, I just think, it started with our starters. We just weren't ready to play and locked in. A little complacency, and in this league you can't have any complacency because any given night someone can have an exceptional game. And Chicago, to their credit, they made a lot of shots in that game. But yeah, it was preseason, luckily. But now it's we should be motivated because we know that they can be a very dangerous team if we let them.
Building off of that, how do you think your defense is more equipped now to handle the perimeter threats of Mabry and Evans?
Yeah, look, I think I'm really happy with our defence, and we said that was an area we needed to be more committed. Mm-hmm. And individually and collectively, and for the most part we're executing our scouts quite well, and as long as you're active and helping each other and you have a great interior defence and verticality, we've been really disciplined and not fouling. We're going to need that tonight. This is a team that can get out and run in transition, this team that wants to get into the paint and finish at the RA, and they're athletic, so another challenge for us, but so far, I have been really, really happy with our defence, but no, we're going to keep getting better.
And also, on a separate note, I'm just curious what your thoughts are on Angel Reese's impact in the WNBA's ever-growing pop cultural intersection space.
Yeah, no, I love it. I think it's great. I think every player should bring their own personality to this league, and she's big time. She's got a lot of different things off the court here, but in the end, she's a very good basketball player, and she's going to get better and better with more experience. But I've been quite impressed with her. She's got an engine. She knows how to, finish in the RA and rebound, and she's still very young. So she's confident, and every young kid should have confidence.
Hey, Coach. Julianne, how's it going?
Good.
Just curious about the growth you've seen from that Mystics game. That was a huge win, that first game. You guys really played well and you pulled out the win. But what have you seen since then that you've liked in terms of your growth? Because the last couple of games, each game somebody has stepped up big time for you guys.
Yeah, look, I think that's what it is. It's not about one player in our group. It's about a lot of really good players, and including the bench. But Washington, I wasn't happy with our defence, so we'd made huge strides in the game since then. Offensively, last game we didn't play offence well, but we could hang our hat on defence. So I think that's a different mentality for us, and that's what we have to do, because even though we have great players offensively, some nights, even when you're open, they just don't go in the hole. So you have to find ways to win, and I think that's a growth, a little bit more, chemistry with the starting five, and we're slowly trying to work out. It's only four games, but trying to work out how the bench all intertwines and what's the best, and that's still going to probably take a few more games.
Hey, Sandy. Again, with the caveat of small sample size this early in the season. But the Chicago Sky are all over the offensive glass. They play with a lot of energy. They're also in passing lanes a bunch. How does your approach change, if at all, knowing if you're bringing more guards down to crash, knowing that they've got that extra level, that extra gear of aggressiveness?
Yeah, look, we've spoken about it. I mean, when they've only played 2 games and very, it's not much to go on. But when you have 19 offensive rebounds in their last game and 2 of their players have 6 and 5 per game, it gets your attention, because possession game, we haven't been great at the 50-50 balls, just with the other team's pursuit of the ball, and that's an area we have to speak about. And then turnovers too, when we get a little bit complacent and we turn the ball over, and now we're going to get a team that's going to chase us a fair bit here. So for us, it's another opportunity for really get locked in. And no, all teams are different, aren't they? It's more being adapting each game to what we need to do to win, to be successful. Defense has always been a staple. Offensively, we've got a few things in. Hopefully we can exploit them.
So I'm just wondering, with the bench units that you've been trying out, pretty much we've seen every combination of players. Is there like a deadline or a long-term plan you have to find consistent units, or is it a take it game by game approach? Like, do you have a roadmap in your mind for the season or not? kind of thing?
I mean, you hope to have a roadmap at some stage, but and I'm a coach that doesn't go, okay, at 7 minutes I'm taking this one out. I go by feel of the game. That's just how I've always done it, and what we need at that time. What's our best matchups and the opponents that we're playing, and we think with the players coming off the bench. But I do know the bench. I really like our bench, and I think it's just getting them confident. And it's hard when they all play big starring roles overseas to come into the WNBA player and off the bench role, and that's an adaptation too. But then also a new team. But I think once I think we got versatility. I think we're, they're interchangeable too at times, and they have different, strengths and weaknesses. But hopefully we'll get there. So I see what it works. But some games it'll go by who's playing well at the moment and what we need.
Hey, Coach. How's it going? It's Coach Spoon's first regular season game here at Barclays Center against the Liberty. Just looks like she's brought that same toughness from the court onto the sidelines, instilling into her players. Just what have you thought about her first few games as a head coach with this guy?
Well, I think it's good. I mean, they won a tough one in Dallas, and they really, in that fourth quarter, just really upped the ante. And I think everyone knows Spoon. She's got a lot of energy. She's going to motivate them. She's going to be really involved in the game. But other than that, she knows the game well. She's been around this league for so long, has an experience from the NBA. It's obviously very relatable, being a former player as well. And I'm happy that she's back in the league, and the players play really hard for her. So that usually you see that, and okay, that's what she's going to bring to this Chicago organization.
Hi, Sandy. You mentioned that you wanted to keep the sky from the restricted area and the painted area, and in the preseason game, you mentioned that was a point of concern you had about the group. What do you think would be key for you guys tonight in sort of force and preventing them from getting those paint touches and more contested jump shots?
Yeah, look, I mean, it really starts with our shot selection down the other end, and then our, getting back in trans and where we got to plug the hole. It's been disciplined how we want to play always. Once you pass the ball, it's always jumping to the ball. It's, very simple. Under 12, just closing the gaps where we can. The communication piece is important for us, but knowing how we want to, execute our game plan with our pick and roll, our on ball, off ball with the personnel that they have. So, it's another challenge for us. I think Kennedy Carter, last game she broke us down quite easily. We have to have a little bit more toughness for us, and one-on-one it starts with that, but building the wall behind.
Coach, you mentioned the bench being experienced at other leagues and other places, and now having more of a bench role, more condensed role in this league. What do you tell them to help them adjust to a smaller league while still trying to keep that confidence as if they have a bigger role?
Yeah, look, I try and make sure that they know that they're valued, and I think that's important. I communicate to them to have patience early. It's hard I've been there. I've learnt patience, but I'm in my 50s now, so I didn't have it when I was young. But having patience and having some grace, but going out, don't forget who they are, what they are, and we'll help them. Don't overthink things. I don't want perfection out there. I want them to go out there, play as hard as they can, bring in their strengths that they have, and have fun. Have a smile on your face. Don't get too high or too low. You hear me say that a fair bit, and it's something I had to learn as a player, and that's why I'm very, for me, it's otherwise mentally you just dig yourself a big hole, and you got to stay as confident as you can. Fake it till you make it.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thanks, guys.